So what's your least favorite species to work with?
My least favorite species to work with, I don't have one. I'm sorry, I don't have one.
None? No super hyper aggressive or hyper spastic species?
No, because as we went through this little deal with Florida where they were going to limit who could keep what, they came up with a tier system, and they would say these species fall into the hot tier, these species fall into a medium tier, they're big, they're nasty, they do this, they jump, well, you know what? Snakes are like people. They have different snakes can exhibit different personalities, and while you can say most cobras will do this, some won't. Most rattlesnakes or water moccasins or mambas will do this, well, some won't. So the worst thing you can do is label a snake, a venomous snake, as the best one to keep, because it's the easiest and you're not going to get bitten. It's the safest. There's no safe venomous snake. You need to treat them all like they were worst case scenario. Alcaritz said it best. The most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. That's whatever that is.
If memory serves, I think Bill Haas' worst bite ever was from a saw-scale viper, which is not very large.
Yeah, and that happened out in Salt Lake City. Of course, Bill tried to ride it out initially with no anti-venom, and what that venom does is, it's a super anticoagulant, and you bleed out of the ears, the eyes, the nose, every orifice of your body just starts bleeding. You can eventually bleed out internally, and he went through tons of blood. They finally got some antivenom flown over here from where that snake is from, and at that point they had to go through the legislature because we weren't in good terms with that country at that time, and they got it here and he came out of it. But that was a long recovery, and yes, that's a small bite, and that Echis, that saw-scale viper, is responsible for most of the bites in Asia. It's horrible. Death by that is horrible.
But it's a much smaller snake species too.
Oh, yeah.
Most people see a puff adder or a gaboon viper, and they automatically register, okay, this is really dangerous, but that small snake is the one that can get you just as easily as...
Yeah. Hey, while we're talking about that, I'm involved in this group called the KCC, the King Cobra Conservancy, which was put together by Nia Haas, Bill Haas' daughter, and Shanti Haas, and it's made up of an alumni of folks that worked for Bill Haas, Ron Whitaker, Joe Wazalewski, George Van Horn, myself, the Schwedick brothers, and we got Matt Good in there too from Arizona. And one of the things people don't realize is that, I get this question, why would you want to save a king cobra? Why does the world need that snake? Well, number one, we hate to see anything go extinct. Number two, the amount of people bitten by king cobras, you can count them on your hand. There's very few. They're minimal. The amount of people bitten by the Echis, that saw-scale viper, and other cobras is where you get up into the 100, 200,000 snake bites a year. Guess what king cobras eat for a primary diet? Other snakes. They consume an enormous amount of venomous snakes. So, by keeping this icon alive, this giant that's not hurting people, this snake actually is keeping the venomous snake population down where people walk with no shoes and get bitten. So for that aspect alone, it's a good thing to do. And some of the ways that we have made an impact is by supporting some of the projects over there where they actually catch these snakes as they come into the villages. The people are going around educated. Here's what you do if you see this snake, call. And then we have full-time hunters go out, they get the snake, they bring it back in the rainforest and let it go, and we're relocating. And we saved, these projects saved, well over 150 snakes last year from being chopped up. And they are protected over there too. So we feel like this is a good thing, and now we have carried that to the next advanced stages on a new project that we're trying to fund now that actually puts telemetry radio transmitters in the snakes. And we can see if these ones we're saving, are they making it? Are they going back to where they were found? And we can also learn a whole lot more about the snake. Had to throw that plug in there.
Shameless plug, but also there's a link to it on your Facebook page, is there not?
Yeah, there's a link. Yeah, you can just www.thekingcobra. If you don't want to remember kingcobraconservancy.org, but thekingcobra.org or just kingcobra.org will get you there.
Very fascinating snake too. It's one of the only snake that we know of that builds a nest.
Yes, and lays eggs, builds a nest, hatches its babies, and the minute they're hatched, are on their own.
But So you got your start with Bill Haas. So how would a person off the street who might be interested in doing this for a living one day find a mentor, an extraction mentor, or even just a husbandry and snake keeping mentor?
Well, you would have to find somebody that keeps snakes. The best mentors probably wouldn't be venom production laboratories. Some of them are equipped to take on a student, if you will. There's a lot of insurance regulations and requirements that gets to be a liability issue. Find somebody that keeps snakes and just go and let them teach you and watch and observe and learn. And you know, you can, with the internet today, you can find out what the snake eats, you can find out the temperatures, you can find out hosts of different beddings, substrates, you can find out when they breed, you can find out everything. For example, if you wanted to breed Gila monsters, there's several sites. A real good one is Doc Seward's site, and he takes you through step by step of everything: how to candle the eggs, how to set up the bedding, when they do this, what do they do before. It's out there with the internet and everything at our fingertips. Get book smart first, and then go watch somebody, and then you can learn the peculiarities and let you start with some smaller snakes that work well on hooks and everything, and learn that way. But unfortunately, the acid test will be when you do it yourself and you keep it yourself. But that's how I would suggest you get a mentor. Find somebody that's licensed if the state requires it, and go to them.
All right. So is there anything else you'd like to talk to the audience about today, or any other wisdom you'd like to share with us?
No, I think we have pretty much covered quite a bit. We don't want to make this too long or people will lose interest. You know, just in parting, the venomous snakes, even though your neighbor may be having them and you may not understand it, maybe we've opened up, you know, a little bit of dialogue that would explain some of that. Snakes, I guess I'm going to leave you with this. Snakes are often, they're the most misunderstood animal, I think they are. They don't want to bite you. They're not aggressive. If you encounter one and leave it alone, it'll go its way. If you find a coral snake out in your flower bed, leave it alone. You'll probably never see it again. They live subterranean. You know, most people get bitten catching or killing the snake. So if you would take those two activities out of snake bite here in the United States, you would reduce the snake bite numbers significantly. So live and let live, and know that they're not what you think they are. If you're afraid of them, just try to get over it. They're not out to get you, not by a long shot.
Well, Jack, I really appreciate you spending the time with us today, and if you want to find out more about what he does for a living, you can find him on Facebook at AGRITOXINS. And if there's nothing further, I'll go ahead and let you get back to your business.
David, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to you later.
Have a great day.
You too.